NotebookLM is about to get a memory. It's getting a feature that remembers your past conversations, plus a new editing tool and a literature review mode, all spotted in testing. And on top of that, Anthropic might already have the next Mythos and Sonnet 5 ready for deployment. So let's get into it. Let's start things off with NotebookLM because Google's been quietly building out a couple of new features that just got spotted in testing. Nothing's officially live yet, so this is all stuff people have dug up inside their product while it has leaked, but it does line up with where Google seems to be taking the whole NotebookLM tool. So there are two things here. The first one is called personal intelligence, and basically what it does is it gives NotebookLM an actual memory. Right now, every conversation kind of starts fresh. With this, it would pull context from your past chats, hold on to it, and use it later. And there are controls too, so you can turn it off and you can go in and see exactly what is stored about you. But the part I think matters most is how it's actually scoped. From what's been found, this version only learns from what you do inside NotebookLM. So it's not going to be reaching into your Gmail, it's not pulling from your docs, it's not crawling through across your whole Google account. And that feels like a deliberate choice because the people using NotebookLM are often researchers or enterprise teams, folks who are working with sensitive material and don't necessarily want this thing absorbing everything they do across Google. So keeping it boxed in like that actually makes sense for who's actually going to be using this product. And this isn't the first time it's shown up either. Personal intelligence has appeared in testing before, both at the account level and per notebook. So the fact that it's back again usually tells you Google's getting closer to actually shipping it. The second feature is more of a practical day-to-day thing, and it's called AI editing for notes. Right now in NotebookLM, once you save a response as a note, that's pretty much it. You're kind of stuck with it. You can't go back and change it, which is annoying if you've been using it to draft anything. So this new option will let you take text from a note, push it back into the chat as context, and then just ask NotebookLM to rework it, rewrite it, tighten it, whatever you need. And if you actually use this tool for writing and not just asking questions, that closes a real gap for a lot of people. Now, there's no firm date on either of these, but the way these hidden features usually go, once they start showing up in testing like this, a rollout tends to follow within a few weeks, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see these land pretty soon. And honestly, this kind of all makes sense because this fits right into what Google's doing everywhere else. They've been pushing memory and personalization into Gemini, into search, and now they're doing it into NotebookLM. So slowly, NotebookLM is shifting from being this neutral tool that just reads your documents back to you into something that actually adapts to how you work and remembers what you care about. And that's a pretty different product than what NotebookLM officially started as. So that's the setup, two features in testing, a memory system that's kept private, and an editing tool that fixes something people have wanted for a while. Nothing confirmed yet, but it might be coming out very soon. Before we continue, we just launched the Universe of AI newsletter. If you want to stay on top of AI news without having to hunt for it, link is in the description. Don't miss out. Let's move on to another NotebookLM leak because this is another feature that is supposedly coming soon. So Google appears to be working on a new artifact type for NotebookLM called Lit Review. And if you use NotebookLM, you know it already has a bunch of these output formats. You got audio overviews, video overviews, mind maps, flashcards, that kind of output. This would be a new one in that same lineup. And what it does is generate a literature review matrix based on your sources. So instead of just summarizing your documents back to you, it will lay them out in a structured table, compare them across whatever columns make sense so you can actually see how your sources line up against each other. And if you've ever done any kind of research, you understand how valuable this is. Pulling a stack of papers together and mapping out where they agree, where they disagree, and what each one covers, that is usually a manual, tedious job. So having NotebookLM just build that matrix for you out of your sources saves a lot of time for the research crowd this tool is actually aimed at. There's also a hint about where this could go. The person who spotted it pointed out that Google's considering adding Google Playbooks and textbooks as sources down the line. And if that happens, it opens this up well beyond just research papers, because now you're not limited to your own uploads. You could potentially pull from actual published books as source material. That's a big move because it turns NotebookLM into something you could point at a whole library, not just a handful of files you uploaded yourself or you searched online. To be clear, this is still in testing once again. There's no release date, nothing official from Google yet, but it lines up with everything else that I talked about as what they've been doing, turning NotebookLM into a powerful research tool and platform. Let's start things off with this tweet which Andrew Curran posted, because if you've been following the whole Mythos and Fable situation, this one is worth paying attention to. So the claim is that a new, more capable version of Mythos has come out of training, and he's being careful with the wording. He's not saying it has launched or anyone's going to get access to it yet. he is saying that it has finished training and it's ready and it has arrived. He also doesn't know what it's going to be called. He's guessing maybe Mythos 5.1 or Mythos 6, but that's just him guessing, anything official. And he raises the possibility that Anthropic just keeps it internal to speed up their own research instead of releasing it at all. On his own, a next version existing isn't really shocking. Of course, there's a newer model coming. No lab trains one frontier system and then stops, so that's not really the headline. Mythos only became available through Project Glasswing back on April 7th, and now, about 2 months later, the next iteration has already finished training, which is quick, and to me that usually says one of two things. Either Anthropic is iterating internally way faster than they ship to public, or they're sitting on a lot more than what we see from the outside. Probably both. But the part of Curran's post I think is actually the most interesting is his point about how the model got restricted in Fable 5. Because remember, access to models like Fable 5 and Mythos 5 is restricted right now. They're being held back from the public, and the natural assumption a lot of people make is, okay, if you stop these models from going out, that slows things down. And Curran's whole argument is no, it doesn't, not even a little. His point is that holding a model back from the public does nothing to slow development. If anything, it might speed it up slightly because it frees up resources that would have gone towards serving it to everyone. And there's no rule anywhere that says a lab has to stop improving its model just because the current one is banned. They can keep training, keep pushing capabilities, and just keep the progress quiet until they decide to release it. So the restriction does affect who gets to use the model, but it doesn't touch what's being built behind the scenes at Anthropic. And then he makes the competitive point, which I think is the real idea that we need to understand as users. None of these labs can afford to pause, and his proof is how capable GLM 5.2 already is. That's the open source pressure that all these closed labs are facing now. So the way he frames it, the frontier labs basically have to keep training stronger and stronger systems just to stay ahead of open source and to stay ahead of each other. To protect their business, they don't really have a choice. Slowing down isn't on the table for any of them, at least at the moment. So someone just noticed that the slug Claude Sonnet 5 showed up on Anthropic partner provider. And if you're not familiar with how this works, a slug is basically the internal model name that providers use to route requests to a specific model. So when something like Claude Sonnet 5 appears on a partner platform before any announcement, that's usually one of the more reliable early signals that a model is coming out very close. It's the kind of thing that tends to leak right before a launch because all these providers have to set up everything in the backend, and sometimes that gets leaked by accident. And the timing makes sense if you look at what Anthropic has been doing. They dropped Fable 5, and obviously that model was quite powerful, and the US government told them to pull that back. And they have updated the Opus class models. Right now it sits at Opus 4.8, but a model line that has not gotten an update in a minute is the Sonnet line. Currently Sonnet sits at 4.6, so updating the Sonnet line kind of makes sense because number one, it's not going to be a model that's geared towards being as powerful as Fable 5, which allows them to deploy it to a lot of people. As well, Sonnet is a model that most people use on a regular basis. Obviously, Opus right now is a default model that a lot of people might be using, but obviously it comes with higher costs and token usage. So if they have a stronger model Sonnet 5, which is more efficient, then a lot of people might use this for regular tasks. You can use your Opus models as orchestrators, but actually use the Sonnet models to get things done. So that could be the value proposition for Anthropic to drop this model. But one thing we got to know is that there's also rumors that Fable 5 might be coming back. So next week is going to be busy for Anthropic as well OpenAI. We have GPT 5.6 coming up, maybe Fable 5 coming back, and now Sonnet 5 may be coming soon as well. So yeah, it's going to be a busy week in AI. And if you guys want to stay on top of that, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. But that's it for today's video. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Follow our new newsletter as well at universeofai.beehive.com. As well, subscribe to the main channel World of AI and support us on X by following the Universe of AIZ as well. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.